What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my best pal, Mr. Seán Mead. Seán, how's it going?
I'm great this week, Conor. I feel a lot lighter, actually. The shackles of Psylocke have been lifted from me as of last week.
Did I not tell you you're doing Psylocke again this week?
Wait, what? The exact same report? Again and again?
And I'm in my underwear. What? If you missed it, or I'm just here for style in them. They're nice underwear, but I'm on the Google Meet call.
It's pointed squarely downwards, I will say, the camera.
You're like, I'm very uncomfortable. I just came here to record a podcast.
And Conor's clearly excited about Hero or Zero this week.
If you missed last week's Hero or Zero, Seán did the mammoth task of tackling one of comics' worst creations ever, Psylocke. A character who, on paper, super cool, super interesting. The more you delve, the worse it becomes.
That's, very surface level. Captain Britain's sister, blonde, white, British, in the body of an Asian woman for most of her publication. Yeah. Very strange set of circumstances.
So Seán, that was your punishment. Now, if you remember why that was your punishment, was 2 weeks ago we were meant to do Hero or Zero, and then we couldn't do it, and you said, I'll do Psylocke next week to make up.
That's
now,
true,
the week that we couldn't do it, I actually prepared a report just in case we could, and I'm now going back to that report because I had a character ready to go that now you've done Psylocke kind of makes him look, like a fucking genius idea for a character, to be honest.
Yeah, like it's going to be like comparative, like I've skewed the scale here is what happens. Is all the characters that are usually shit and mental are now going to be pretty normal in comparison.
Well, you say that, but I have picked a good one that I think will follow quietly on from Psylocke into DC comics. So I normally talk DC characters and Seán normally chooses Marvel characters.
Yes. And also the listeners normally leave a like and a review on whatever podcast platform they're listening on. Usually that's what happens.
Yeah, and sometimes they leave a comment that says these guys are shit, but 5 stars. Like confused but also intrigued.
And I send a text saying, thanks, Dad.
Again, 7th account he's made. But yeah, so this week I am going to get into a character. Now look, we're going to start calling these legacy characters. I think that's a fancier way of saying they may have been done, but the episode no longer exists in the past, right?
Well, yeah, because the podcast services delete them after a certain amount of time.
So this is nearly 4 years ago. 3 years ago, I think, we covered a character known as Philip Reardon. Seán, do you know who Philip Reardon is?
I think I went to school with his sister back in the day.
Was she nice?
She's lovely. She was lovely. Yeah, good at geography, I seem to remember.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. She's travelling the world now, is she?
Travelling the world. No, died in a car accident, actually. Young. Died young.
The worst anecdote of all time.
Just killed the vibe. Just shut down.
By an airplane. You know what I mean?
Yep. Wasn't even flying at the time.
She was the only one that was hit. There was literally everybody else absolutely fine
busy
around
street.
her.
She was hit by a 747, died.
Hit her on the head. But we're covering Philip Reardon, otherwise known as one of comics' most dastardly and evil villains, the Ten-Eyed Man. Yes, Seán, you can't
no memory
even
of the Ten-Eyed Man. I have no clue what the Ten-Eyed Man is about. Was I here for this one?
You were here. This was so long ago, I kind of forgot. I was doing the report halfway through, and then I thought, have we done this one? I don't know. I can't remember anymore.
No memory of this. This is going to be great.
So maybe the OGs can remember this, like the original 10 listeners. But
no, they all died in car accidents.
Airplanes, we're just stay out of those airfields, guys. But his first appearance, Batman 226 in 1970, Seán, pretty good time to be a Batman fan. We were coming out of 60s Batman. We were getting into more serious topics. And that's where the 10-eyed man comes in, because this is one of my favourite characters, in that it's in the very much the genre of the fuck were they thinking when they came up with this character.
I see. And so does he, because he has 10 eyes.
So created by Frank Robbins, Irv Novich and Dick Giordino. He first appeared in Batman 226 in 1970. This unlucky recipient is one of the worst superheroes. This unlucky person is the recipient of one of the worst superpowers ever. Sean, do not look him up yet.
Oh, right.
You have to know him. I'm going to explain, then you are allowed to see what he looks like.
Okay.
I've seen you reaching for a keyboard.
Yeah, you saw the shine in my glasses, being like, oh, okay.
So Philip, I mean, he's a former Vietnam vet, right?
Aren't we all?
And we all. Hit by an aeroplane he was. He got sent home. No. Vietnam vet. Apparently he wound up on the wrong side of a grenade over Vietnam, right? So he goes over there. You don't end up on the wrong side of one. Blows up in his face. Injured his eyes enough to warrant him an honourable discharge home from Vietnam.
Look, if a grenade goes off near you, and your eyes get damaged, you still survived a grenade at the end of the day.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if it was friendly fire or not, but all we know is there was a grenade, right? Maybe he was taken out by one of his own men. He might have been slightly annoying. I don't know.
Right.
But the thing is, Mr. Reardon, very unlucky young man. So he decides, right, he comes home and he has to get a job. Like, there's no money. It's 1970. What could I do? He becomes a night watchman and a security guard for a warehouse in Gotham.
Okay, risky job, I would say.
But he does have, and I'm not going to say kung fu, but what I'm going to say fighting abilities due to the army training.
He's been trained by the army in the 70s, so he's basically a killing machine.
And real racist, I think.
Oh, probably. Also, night watchman job in a warehouse. He can probably buy 3 houses with that money in 1970.
With 70s money, he's got houses galore. Well, one night while doing the rounds, some burglars decided to show up and rob the place. Right, not looking good for old Philly. Reardon spots them because he's a good night watchman. He's good at his job.
Wait, how are his eyes at this point?
They're blurry, but they're not terrible.
But he's the watchman.
Right. Yeah, but he's not.
I don't mean to be ableist here, but if you're hiring a night watchman, is vision not some criteria on the application?
I'm gonna have one response. It was the 70s. Do you think they had a background check on anybody that was going in or out of those jobs?
Probably not. No, especially not in Gotham City in the 70s.
Have you watched that documentary called The Pharmacist on Netflix? This is completely left field, but
no,
it's called The Pharmacist.
Wait, is this the meth one?
The guy who takes on Oxy and Purdue Pharma, and like it's like a documentary, right? But there's one line in it that really made me laugh. It's in episode 1. It's about 4 minutes in, and the guy is just like, I was growing up in the 60s and 70s. I didn't know what to do. I graduated from college or from high school. I didn't have an idea of what I was going to do. And then eventually I just said, sure, I'll become a pharmacist.
It's like it's a big course now. Like there's a lot of work that goes into that.
And I was like, just overnight, it's just like, sure, I'll just become a pharmacist.
Throw me hand at this, it'll be grand.
Sure, why not? Sure, I'll try it out. I'll just become a pilot. That's what happened to her.
There is another one that's how it happened. There is another Netflix one. I think it's called How to Fake a Drug Scandal or something like that. Yeah,
I've also seen that one. Yeah.
And she just like, this lady takes just like pure refined meth.
I think I told you about that one.
You might have done. Very good. Very good.
It's very good. We're always just giving recommendations to each other and then forgetting. We're like, have you seen that?
Yeah. You talk so frequently, Conor.
Well, one night while doing the rounds, robbers show up, right?
Yeah.
Reardon, he basically spots them, but he gets taken down pretty easily. Right? for a guy who should be in the Special Forces first time round. He gets his ass tied up while the robbers plant a bomb for some reason in the warehouse. It's very vague. It's actually not sure why they're doing any of this.
They brought the bomb just in case. They had to... That's not the cleanest way to get rid of a witness either.
No, you would just rob the place, tie him up and leave with the stuff.
Yeah, he can't see.
Barely. But unfortunately this is in Gotham, so Batman shows up right before the bomb goes off, and Reardon at the same time, simultaneously in the other room, gets himself free, right? Okay. He gets himself free from the wires. He's a special agent, right? He's combat trained. And so he sees him after waking up, and obviously his vision is blurred, right? Because of, the grenade.
The grenade that went off in his eyes, yeah.
And he's also been knocked unconscious, so not great. He thinks Batman is one of the robbers upon entering the scene, right? Because he sees a guy in a mask, all black. He's a thief.
Safe bet, yeah.
Reardon jumps him and they tumble around until the bomb goes off, blowing up the warehouse with the two of them inside. Reardon once again catches most of the blast right in the fucking face.
Gee, he just has a target. His face just... Is his face magnetic, do you think, just for trapping?
Which further damages his already fucked up eyes and vision.
Jesus, just, at a certain point, just stop looking at things.
Stop.
Is that it?
Looking at the sun.
Anytime there's an explosive, he just looks directly towards it.
He gets attracted to it. He's like a rabbit in the headlights, but for explosions.
Yeah, it's like the Angelus, but for explosions.
That's such a niche joke.
And I won't explain it.
Don't explain it. Before that, no, we gotta explain. Before the Irish news, every night in here on the Irish television, one of our stations.
The Irish news, it starts at 6:01 p.m.
Yeah, because for 60 seconds they have to have because obviously Christianity, they have to have the Angelus go for a minute where they just ring the bell, but instead of just letting the bell ring, they have a load of really terrible stock footage clips of just people looking up into the distance, Superman is flying past.
So, they gaze off in the direction of bells, presumably.
There's an old woman washing dishes, and then she looks into the distance, the bell goes off, and then there's a young child putting on football boots, bell goes off, he looks up, everybody's looking up.
There's one and it's a man and he's doing street art of praying hands. That's a classic. That's a classic Angelus bit.
Never thought I'd bring up the Angelus on this show, but that's something that's just ingrained in our society. If you hear a dog, everyone in Ireland has to just stop what you're doing, just look into the middle distance, not really focused on anything, just thinking.
Ponder about God.
Yeah, pondering. So the explosion goes off right in the fucking face of poor owl Reardon, also Batman. The explosion of the vault left both men blinded. Reardon permanently, Batman not permanently.
Right, okay. So just wanted... Wait, but they were both the same distance from the bomb.
Think of it as Reardon had a health bar. His health was already halfway down due to the grenade explosion. Batman came in full health bar.
Okay, so it's kind of like Skyrim or something where his eyes have durability and they just broke.
While Batman worked with Alfred to arrange technological tricks that would enable him to fake sight.
Love the 70s, man. Love the 70s.
Reardon was taken under the wing of a veteran mobster who hoped to fan Reardon's newfound hatred of the Dark Knight into an inferno he could use for himself.
How attractive of a goon offering is Reardon at the minute?
I mean, he is blind, but he's got kung fu or some sort of punching.
But he's an ex-soldier who's blind.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like Batman. That's all he's got going for him at the minute.
But here's the thing. A rare natural phenomenon, Sean, made Phil eligible for a radical experimental surgery. See, this is what the gangster had in mind. He's eligible for an experimental surgery that only they can do.
Which will turn him into some kind of super soldier?
Well, in a way, Sean, yeah, because what do you do with the man who can't see out of his own eyes?
You give him two new eyes.
You give him new eyes.
Two new eyes,
Obviously.
specifically.
You give him new optical nerves in his body.
You're not addressing the quantity of eyes here,
Yeah,
Conor.
but you give him optical nerves within his body. Within Reardon's body, there are optical nerves.
Within the two holes where the eyes go, right?
They reconnected his optic nerves to the sensory cells in his fingertips. In addition to the sense of touch, the doctor had made his fingers eyes.
So wait, that's horrible that your sense of touch and vision is connected. What if you burn your hand?
You got 9 more.
I don't know. What if you're up to some stuff? What happens then?
Oh, you see everything.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't want to stuff the turkey, Mammy, please.
I hate Christmas. Oh, man. So, look, there's no easy way of breaking the news to you. I think Psylocke has really softened the blow, but this man had his eyes optical nerves reconnected to his fingers, so now he can see, but through all of his 10 fingers.
But his one thing he had going for him before this was his fighting skills.
Yeah.
And
he
now
fight.
But he has to close his eyes to do it.
Yeah, but that's fine. You're just like chopping and
He's
punching.
Just punching blind, like.
Yeah, but he can see up until that point. No, because technically he could leave one hand up, looking, and then the other hand punching.
So he's doing like a fucking like pincer maneuver.
Yeah, a big pincer maneuver. Constantly.
So he's got one hand up doing the eyes, and the other is just fucking jabbing, is it?
Yes.
This is the worst character you've ever done.
10-eyed man. So now Reardon is the 10-eyed man, right? And here's the thing: they've fanned his hatred of Batman to the point of he's the perfect villain to take down the Bat. I
mean, a lot of better villains have tried.
The ensuing battle, the gangster couldn't get the Joker. I must admit, he's kind of stuck with Reardon at this point.
He's trying to pitch the 10-fingered eyes thing, and everyone's just like, no, that's fucking stupid.
The ensuing battle between Batman and the 10-eyed man quickly shifted in Reardon's favour when the Dark Knight's vision enhancements were disabled, blinding one of his hands in battle. Reardon lunged at Batman with his other fist, which was bagged in the crime fighter's cape at the last moment shot. So he goes to punch Batman. Batman wraps his hand up in the cape, and then, of course, Reardon is blind and so can no longer see. And so while Batman left to summon help, Reardon regained consciousness and escaped. So he actually got away from Batman because Batman was also kind of fucked.
Like a Batman missing one of his senses that he famously is very good at using. That is what this man needed to not even win, but just to survive and escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, look, here's the thing. Convinced he could now beat Batman on his own turf, Reardon ironically, to see. Reardon covertly used his abilities to win a job as a civilian sky marshal.
What? What? Wait, what? Does he crash a plane into him?
No,
it's all come full circle.
Imagine. So he used his abilities to covertly use his abilities to win a job as a civilian sky marshal. And then hijacked the plane for Vietnam when it was in the air, demanding that Batman meet him there in Vietnam.
How does he get a job as a sky marshal?
Because he covertly uses abilities to win a job as a civilian sky marshal.
How does seeing through your hands help you become a civilian sky marshal?
Because you're using it like covertly to kind of look around, and then you're like, there's a plane over there.
But what's a sky marshal do? What's their job?
Just like brings the planes in.
Sky marshal, covert law enforcement or counter-terrorist agent on board a commercial aircraft to counter aircraft hijacking.
There you go. There you go.
But he becomes the hijacker.
He becomes when the hijackee becomes the hijacker.
My God.
He demands that Batman meet him in Vietnam, and the 10-eyed man in the Dark Knight faced off amidst the swamps of the DMZ.
What the fuck?
Turns into the first Predator movie.
But it's Batman versus a man with 10 eyes in his fingers.
10 eyes. All in his fingers. The conflict seemed to climax when Reardon blinded his foe with a flare and moved in for the kill. So Batman's blinded by a flare. Reardon goes in for the kill.
He's blinding lads, this guy.
He's big and blinded. Batman, however, had seen the 10-eyed man hide his hands before the detonation and was prepared for the burst of light. And then he basically just pretended to be blind until Reardon walked up to him and then beat the fucking ever little living piss out of Reardon.
Just cut his hands off. Just like destroyed him. What if he breaks a finger?
Well, he doesn't see it coming. He could only be kept in a jail cell by keeping his hands locked in a special box that kept him blind all day and night.
But the ability to see doesn't mean he'll immediately get out of the jail cell, does it?
But we need to keep him in the darkness.
They don't blind prisoners.
Because with eyes on his fingers. This is my favourite bit of the whole thing, right? This is a thing they actually put in the issue. He could only be kept in the jail by keeping his hands locked in a special box that kept him blind all day and all night. Because with eyes on his fingers, it is said that escape would be child's play for him.
How, though?
It just would be. It just would be child's play for him.
Is there a lock on the door?
Yes.
Then what's the difference?
Because he's got... Look, I feel like I need to say this slower because you're just a fucking idiot, right? He's got 10 eyes on his face. It's child's play.
What's
He's
the benefit
easily
of that?
getting
How
out.
does that help, though?
Because he could look around a lot more. Like,
with 5 eyes looking in the same fucking direction.
Not if he does like the cowabunga dude, like hands. Then he's looking in 2 different directions.
That's fair. You can do cowabunga dude, but then you're limiting yourself to 2 of your 5 eyes on one hand.
Yeah, but the other 3 could be doing something else. I don't know. All I know is it's child's play, right? It's easy. I can understand why it would be child's play. It's very simple. You can't. That's fair enough. It's probably it's on you. I think you're the problem there.
My damage.
Although precisely how this would be the case was never elaborated on.
Of course it wouldn't be. It was the 70s. We didn't have time.
So, in 1975, 10-eyed man made a revival. So he basically went missing upon this. He had his 1 issue or 2 issue, then he went away. Martin Pascoe then revived the 10-eyed man in 1975 in Man-Bat #2. That's right, Man-Bat had his own comic series for a very short time in the 70s. Do you remember it, Sean? I remember it well.
Oh, one of my favourite times of my or anyone's life.
I think they were just like, well, they're hoping like the granny buys it and is like, I heard you like Man-Bat. No, Batman, Gran.
Was this where all the comics code lifted all their rules on horror? Right, okay.
Yes.
That makes sense then.
So Reardon had been released into the custody of the Civil Liberties Association, an organisation run by a fanatic named Lovell. Imagining that Gotham was under siege by strange bat people, Lovell wanted the 10-eyed man. He brought him out of jail for one mission and one mission only.
One more job.
To capture Man-Bat, because he had succeeded so well with Batman.
Is this because Man-Bat is like sonar-based powers?
Yes, because he's also blind. See, you're getting it now.
Powers,
you are
right.
getting on the team. Yes. The 10-eyed man is hired by Lovell to combat the Man-Bat, but is injured in the very first battle when inadvertently he wounds his own eyes. And Sean, he wounds them in the best way any character has ever been injured in comics. Man-Bat throws a shrub at him and he catches the shrub, but there's pointy ends in the shrub and it hurts his little handies and he can't see no more.
Classic. Every rose has its thorns.
That's an actual comic issue of this lad catching a shrub.
You might say he got a kiss from a rose. That's a Batman reference, technically.
He couldn't really seal after the incident.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are all of the jokes.
I'm now also, by the way, giving you free rein to look up the 10-eyed man, because I was afraid the shrub image was going to come up and would ruin that reveal.
10-eyed man. 10-eyed man. Oh, it's worse than I imagined.
He's so good. He's got eyes everywhere.
No, he's got a lot of eye-based costumes, but he's just holding his hands out like a prick.
Yeah, but he can see. It's child's play for him.
He's just doing
Reardon's
jazz
nerve grafts. His nerve grafts then began suffering tissue rejection. His blindness was soon going to return unless the CIA could find a way to replicate man-bat sonar, setting up a flare bomb to blind the bat creature. Unfortunately, upon setting up the flare bomb, Reardon was actually too close to his own explosion and eventually took the brunt of the
explosions. He tries to high-five it.
He took the brunt of the explosion himself and, disorientated, staggered off the skyscraper roof to his supposed death.
I will say, I'm after finding a comic panel and they went with the horror, and it's really good looking. It's like the pale man in Pan's Labyrinth kind of a thing, where he holds up his hands to his face. That stuff's good.
It's fucking great. He's cool.
No, that looks cool. His original comic, absolutely dog
What are you talking about? It'd be child's play for him. Yeah, look, what happened was, what eventually led to his supposed death was obviously he was slightly too close to an explosion. Like, that's obviously going to happen. Yeah. The issue with that is that, like, the explosion goes off, he has to go look at it. It's just something in him that he has to investigate the explosion seconds before it goes off.
He still has, like, the instinct of, like, a bright light goes off and he holds up his hands to shield his eyes.
He's always too close. Then he gets disorientated, staggers off the roof and falls to his supposed death. He was, however, confirmed to have survived by the 1980s, and he continued to remain active, most notably in Gotham City, hiring out his services, which I assume did not go well.
Not a large market for a man with 10 eyes on his fingers.
He was eventually killed in Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1985. He had returned during the period of cosmic chaos to take advantage of the confusion in Gotham City, right?
What's he gonna do? What's his plan there?
He's taken over. He's saying to the Joker,
now's my time.
Fuck out of here, Joker and Riddler and Two-Face. Gotham's 10-eyed man's place now. This is my area. This is my turf, he said.
Horrendous.
So he was trying to take advantage of the confusion and the chaos, but he was only to be killed by the merging of realities by a shadow assault on the city.
He's leading a shadow assault.
So unfortunately, he was killed by the merging of realities, which eventually got him. So multiple explosions couldn't get him. Reality merging eventually took him out.
In a way, the biggest explosion of all, you know.
Actually, yeah. And ironically, a shadow assault, which is black, so like couldn't really see it very well, which is the opposite of a bright explosion.
That's a good, like, in terms of powers and stuff, like, does he see better than the regular human? Or
he's got 10, Sean. I mean, that's 10 times the eyes.
But is each one the strength of 1/5 of an eye?
I like the idea that they're all 7 out of, like he doesn't have 20/20 vision. He's got 14.
They all have different
vision.
Prescriptions that they need. It's really horrendous.
He's got different glasses for each one.
Yeah, he has the reading fingers, and like it's just really.
He's got
convenient.
9 monocles and 1 real good eye.
And that's the thumb, and that keeps getting hit.
So there was eventually a second 10-eyed man, but I don't really want to cover them because I don't think they're as fun as Reardon. His powers and abilities: the 10-eyed man has optic nerves connected to his eyes in each of his fingertips, allowing him to see through his hands. He's a skilled combatant, both armed and unarmed, due to his special forces training.
Well, if he loses his arms, he's blind.
He's also a skilled marksman, which is enhanced by his fingertip vision, which I don't think makes any sense.
Just because his eye is on the trigger doesn't mean he can fucking see any better.
It'd be child's play for him. Child's play, Sean. Easy peasy.
I'd wager no. Actually, no to that.
Actually, no. So, Sean, what do you think of the 10-eyed man just as a comic book? I feel like, he could kill Psylocke any day of the week.
I mean, It depends. I mean, if he happens to be near an explosion and like grabbing onto Psylocke, there's a good chance she'll get hurt there.
Like she's going down with him.
Yeah, but just because like explosions are attracted to this man, apparently. I just don't understand why he just goes bad for no reason.
Well, Batman's the reason why he loses his eyes.
No, it's not. The Vietnam War is. Be mad at Nixon.
No, but here's the thing, right? This is before Nixon as well. I think this is Johnson. We're not going to get into it. But
I don't know American presidents. Come on,
it's the late 60s. But what happens here, Sean, is that like he has use of his eyes until Batman starts trying to rob that warehouse. And then he does his job, and he stops Batman committing the crime, and that's what leads to his eyes getting exploded. So if Batman wasn't a criminal, he would have been absolutely fine.
Batman's not a criminal; he's a vigilante. It's a thin line, I get you, but
I'm a thin line, admittedly, yeah. But so what do we say? 10-eyed man? He'd probably beat, I don't know, Darkseid.
Definitely Thanos anyway.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I would give him 2 thumbs up. But both thumbs have 4 eyes on them.
You've done that wrong.
No? Oh, I wasn't listening. Sorry, I'm just improvising here.
Which would be worse? I suppose having eyes on your fingers is better than your feet and your toes.
Yeah, you're more... You'd use your feet more for, like, rough and tumble tasks, you know?
It'd be horrible looking at your socks all day.
I've got some nice socks, man.
But the inside of them, like the fluff bit.
I mean, you could do with sandals. You could be a year-round sandal kind of person.
Yeah, you'd have to be sandals all day, even in the winter.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work for me. Cold tootsies.
You wouldn't get away with gloves. That's another issue.
Fingerless gloves. You know.
True. Actually, true.
Come on, as a former emo teen yourself, you know your way around a fingerless glove.
I'm a woolly hat man, fingerless gloves man myself.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Am I cold? Am I warm? I don't know.
I think that's it for this week's Hero or Zero, Sean, if you want to take us out.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday. A bit of a change up with Movie Mondays. There's a post about it on the Facebook, but short version of it is it's going to be going to a monthly show just to up the quality of the stories that we talk about. Head on over to Facebook if you want to talk more about that. The Tech Divilments discussion group, it is linked below. Also linked below is the Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Thank you to everyone who supports us over there. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate all your feedback on the kind of updates and stuff that we've been posting recently. Twitter is at Heroes for Hire Pod. The 4 is a number 4. The Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast as well. Yeah, it is. And the best way,
Sean's never seen the Instagram.
I'm not on the internet. What can I say? But I do know for a fact, Conor, that the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Sean Bean.
We'll see you all next week, guys.
We'll see you with our 10 eyes.
See you. Bye-bye.